What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, and Miss Courtney. RedoptionAgency.com, 21 years selling on eBay, and 42 years of selling other people's stuff. Off and on, of course. Oh, man, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to talk about a lot of my theories that I've been going over the last couple of years about the eBay, the site issues, and how I think yesterday's morning's site issues kind of adds more relevance or more credibility to what I've been saying, at least in my biased opinion. So I'll give that to you guys, see what you think. We'll talk a little YouTube. We'll talk about another shutdown. And, of course, whatever else pops into the head. So, let me get the old shipping engines fired up. So, kind of got me thinking after yesterday's shutdown, because what if it's not that our items disappeared? What is it? What if it is our items never reappeared? What do I mean by that? How many times have you heard me say, I think eBay shut down overnight? Well, I think they did again last night from about 11:30 till about 7. I had nothing really come through except one sale. So that to me indicates a shutdown, because when things are rolling properly, I have sales, multiple sales throughout all the hours of the night normally. So the night before, when our items came up missing early in the morning, probably about 6:15ish, I think there was a shutdown that night also, because I had a lot of nothingness. And then say they're bringing it back up around 6:15, they bring it back up, but whoops, the items are not there. So it kind of gave me like a little theory to add to my theory of they shut down and do maintenance or updates throughout the night. But I'm starting to feel like there's two different types of shutdowns overnight, and they both seem to affect my sales, but they have different rebound properties. So I thumped laying there in bed trying to fall asleep, and I'm thinking, how can I relate this? I'm going to relate it to a computer. When you put your computer to sleep, it's down, but it's not out. When you do a hard boot, it reboots the whole system. So I'm kind of looking at it like this. What if the shutdowns overnight are happening? There's a sleep mode version and there's a hard boot version. The hard boot is when it's something to do with like an update that involves the listing or the listing pages, if you will. And the sleepless ones are just other parts of the eBay website. Now, as I've said many times, I'm not a tech person, so these are all theories from what I see on a daily basis and hourly basis. So yesterday, we know there was something. I feel there was a shutdown, and in my eyes, there had to be, being that something was done overnight, because all of our items just vanished. They wouldn't just vanish for the fun of it. Hey, let's just hide from everybody today. Okay, let's go. No. So something was being done that caused that issue. So yesterday for me was a totally destructive day. I had about 10:30 when I made the video, I had a little over $200. But for the rest of the remainder of the day, I only did $300. So from just called 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., $300. So totally disrupted day because of what happened. To me, maybe that was a hard boot. because I had one of my days that I've had in the last 30 days. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then yesterday was 6 of those days in the last 30 days. Now, are those hard boot updates, meaning something within the listing that really takes the listings down, if you will, or has to hard boot them back up, however you want to look at it. And then my day doesn't rebound because of indexing. Now, indexing is like if you list an item on eBay, it takes 24 to 48 hours for it to be seen globally, if you will, right? And this could fall into the fact that on those days, my international sales are overnight are nothing. But when they don't do anything, my international sales overnight are pretty strong, right? So, when you have to wait for indexing, all your items are not shown. And I've said this many, many times. When this happens, I seem to sell just low dollar media is 90% of my sales. And that's what I have sitting here from yesterday. 90% of this is low dollar media. And that is a reoccurring pattern on those days. Here's the thing though. Now that we had last night, was last night a hard boot shutdown or was it a sleepy shutdown? The difference would be, I feel, if it's and maybe this is why I've had a lot better sales this month, is because they're doing more sleep shutdowns to things other than the listing pages or has to do with the listing, as opposed to dealing with the listings. So if last night was a sleep shutdown, my items are still indexing. It didn't interfere with it. And then that's when I usually have those bounce back days where I can crank out $1,000, $900, $1,000, $1,100. I just call it 1,000 even average. But then on the days that everything has to index, I have the low dollar days. But then if they do another indexing that night, which I feel they did on May 16th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. So the day of the 15th, so the night of the 15th into the day of the 16th, I think they had did a hard boot shutdown and only did $538 that next day. So then my items have to start indexing all over again. But then that night they do another hard boot shutdown, and then my items have to start indexing all over again. So that day I only did $500. So then if they do a sleep shutdown, it doesn't interact with the indexing and I can build that next day. That next day kind of blows up. Theory, of course, yes, because eBay's never going to tell us. But it seems logical from my uneducated tech brain, just from the patterns I see. You can tell a lot from patterns if you pay attention. If you have the ability to see the patterns, that's the hardest part is with eBay, is having the ability to see the patterns. And like I said before, I've had big sellers off the record reach out to me and tell me they see the same style of patterns and they feel something is going on and I probably onto something, et cetera, et cetera. So these are not just coming from my 21 years of experience of doing this. It's coming from probably over a century of experience of doing this. So my question then was, last night's shutdown, because I know they did it, was that a sleepy or was that a hard boot shutdown? That's where the question is going to remain today on how I do. As of right now, it's 9:30 a.m. I'm at $138. But yesterday I was at $200. But the difference was the day before that was a pretty decent day, $820. So I had residuals from the day before paying that day. So it kind of spiked those sales early in the day. Whereas today, I don't have those spiky sales from yesterday because yesterday was a pure crap day. So this kind of tells me last night was probably a sleep shutdown and not a hard boot shutdown if I'm already at $138 at 9:30. I could imagine if it was a hard boot shutdown and my items had to start indexing again. At 8:30 yesterday, I had, or the day before, whatever it was, I had $12. Was it yesterday? No, it was the day before. No, it was yesterday. I don't remember. Anyway, it'd be a hell of a lot less is what I'm saying. So I do feel yesterday was a sleep time shutdown. Now, there is a scheduled shutdown for tonight. Now, will it be a sleepy shutdown or will it be a hard boot shutdown? I need to find the release that's telling it's going to be shut down and see what they're updating. And that will kind of give me maybe a variation of what is a hard boot shutdown and what is like a sleepy shutdown. If they say why they're shutting down for maintenance, they usually say shutting down for maintenance and updates or whatever, but I don't know if they give what they're updating. So if I can figure out what they're updating overnight tonight, and then how my store interacts tomorrow after the shutdown. If it's a sleepy time shutdown, it's Friday, I should have $1,000 day easy if my items are indexed back, in time. If not, it's going to be a crappy Friday, which will not be the first. So, like the history of Fridays right now, last Friday was one of those crappy Fridays. $660. Crappy for me, for my average. Not crappy, but you know what I mean. The Friday before that was $1,100. The Friday before that was $950. The Friday before that was only $706. But that was coming back, it looked like, from all those hard boots that I talked about at the beginning of the 30 days ago, basically. So that looked like the beginning of the indexing coming back. So, because the day after that was $915. The day after that was a little over $1,000. So they were kind of indexing back up. Again, all theories, but all based off patterns. And I like patterns, so you can learn a lot from patterns. We'll see. But $138 at 9:34 a.m. It's a good thing, but be prepared. There will be a shutdown tonight. What it will entail, I do not know. All right, I am up 8%, so at least I'm past that 6 that I kind of seem to be stuck at. Yesterday, only $565. And I got a feeling it's going to be the organic. It seems like when those hard boot days happen, if that's what it is, I'm just going to call it that in theory, and you guys will probably kind of just take, what I'm talking about. Organic sold, 9 organic. And yesterday too, I did the whole incognito searching for my items. Again, Cardinal baseball hats, there's like 4,000. I have hundreds, but yet I had only 2 on the first page. And again, those first 4 sponsored spots, it's only showing 1 sponsored. The way that eBay is set up is the first 2 are for advanced promotions, and the second 2 are for standard promotions, from number 3 and number 4. But yet, the last couple of days, all it's been showing is 1 promoted at the top of the page, and then the next promote is not till middle of the page. So only 9 organic yesterday, and 34 promoted, so only 43 items sold. Compared to the day before, 74 items sold. This morning, 10 items sold, 9 promoted, 1 organic. So we're still in that bottom organic thing, but the way eBay's setting it up with putting ads on our personal listing pages, it's almost going to make the future of eBay, the organics are just going to be non-existent. Every sale is going to end up being a promoted sale. At least it feels like it's going to be like 95% plus promoted sales for future sales, the way they're placing this stuff everywhere and even invading our paid for places with these things. Which I think if enough of us make a stink about this, maybe we can get some attention to it at least by somebody bigger up, something. I don't know. That could be just hopeful thinking too. All right, so this will be an easy ship. Got about 19 items, I think, but mostly media. So it'll be an easy ship. So let's get into a little YouTube comments, questions, and everything else YouTube, since we are playing on YouTube algorithms, figuring that out, playing around with it, etc. I had probably was three or four of you guys reach out to me and say that since I've started talking about it, you went ahead and started making YouTube videos. So you like that I am at least, I'm just sprinkling a little bit in to these videos about YouTube. One I remember offhand saying, thank you for just saying, telling me to relax and be me or whatever. And that those videos got a little bit more views than the past videos they put up. So, positive response. So thank you. And I hope it helps. You know, everything I'm doing is trying to help you guys make more money to better your situations, period. Because that's what it's done for me. So just trying to give back as much as I can, but still holding my head above water, you know. And once I am in the all clear with YouTube, I can start really giving back on YouTube. So that'll be cool if I ever get there. So, but that whole goal is trying to get there. So, let's go into maybe, let's see, Fridays I do a week update on eBay. Maybe Thursdays I do a week update on YouTube. Maybe. Let's see if that'll be a new thing. So let me go into analytics on YouTube and we'll do the last 7 days. All right. So the last 7 days on YouTube, 30,000 views, almost the same as the past 7 days, it says. 6.6 thousand hours of watch time. That's up 22% from the week before, so that's a positive. And subscribers, 240, and that's 97% more than the previous day. I'm not sure what happened this week other than Marcus playing on one of his videos that we played back and forth on, which sent some of you guys over, so I appreciate that. But there was something else going on that day too, because I had a huge surge before, and it's been continuing since. So thank you guys for all the new subs out there. Don't forget to like and turn on that notification bell also. Yeah. And so last 7 days, $392. So that's on track for a $1,600 month, which is $100 more than last month. So at least we're going in the right direction. So that's good. Let's see. The last yard sale video, I spent $90 on yard sales. The video itself so far has made $24 of that $90 back. So that's a way of looking at it. And if you want to get into YouTube and making yard sale videos, trying to get your yard sale videos to pay for the items you buy at the yard sale. So, the first video that I made about Marcus Dixon's Pickens that he played off of, that one's still #1 in the last 7 days. And it's titled, the thumbnail says, I need to say something about this eBay YouTuber. That video alone has got 8.8 thousand views, 6,800 more than usual. Usually I'm about 1,600 or so, right? So 2.3 watch hours. It's 1.8 more than usual. That video alone, 114 new subscribers just for making that video. And that estimated revenue on that video so far, $186. So just me coming up with a little idea, me and Marcus saying, hey, yeah, let's do that and play. Just making that thumbnail decision to play back and forth off each other created $186 for myself. So that's a success in my eyes. And from what I understand, the last time I heard from him, his was doing pretty well too. So just, something a little different, unique to try to gain up some, interest, if you will, I guess you could say. The next biggest video in the last 7 days was one I put up about the whole promotions on underneath, on our listing pages. Now that video wasn't as long, so it probably didn't make as good as money. 3,000 views, 685 more than usual, 12 new subscribers, estimated revenue $28. So just from talking about that issue for a link time of, let me see how long that video was, 6 minutes and 37 seconds gave me $28 for 6 minutes of work. Ain't work to me, more thoughts and emotions and being yourself, right? $28 just for saying what's on your mind. Gotta love that. So if you're trying to get more into YouTube and make YouTube videos, or trying to, for whatever reasons, you don't have confidence in anything, just make it. You got to start somewhere, and you can start redefining. I'm still trying to redefine as I go. And obviously, I don't have time to edit videos. So there's another step maybe in the future I could take. If I'm making X amount of money on YouTube, maybe I go and say, okay, I am going to take a break and be creative today. I love being creative anyway, and I haven't had time to be creative in a very long time. Sit down and draw or do anything creative. I could eventually say, well, since I'm making $5,000 a month on YouTube, let's change the videos up a little bit to see if I can make it even bigger and take an hour, 2 hours to be creative with editing. It's a possibility. So there's always different ways to mold, but you got to start. My point is, you got to start somewhere, and just turning the camera on is the first step, and then see where it goes from there. And be yourself, be comfortable, relaxed, and the first few times it won't be that way, but that's all right. That's real. Put it out there. Keep it real. Don't fake it. Find what works for you. Try not to force anything, and just go with the flow, and then let it mold into whatever it's going to be. And if you just do it for monetary to try to grow it, that's not a bad thing, even if that ain't the first reason why. And for honestly, it shouldn't be the first reason why, especially if you're just getting started, because you're just going to disappoint yourself going, man, this ain't going nowhere. So don't do it for that. I could still even look at it that way. But for me, it's the first reason's not about the money. It's about the people it impacts. Just taking nuggets away from the video. And secondly, I'm doing it for me. It's usually it was just me, Vern, and Courtney here. Now it's just me and Courtney most of the days, and nobody else. So, as you guys know, being a lone reseller is a lonely world, and this brings you guys into my world. And when something drastic happens, like Vern, you guys were there for me. And that's valuable. So even if I wasn't making money on this channel, that alone is enough value for me. So. I had made the comment in one of my posts that my dad passing was probably the passing that I was able to cope with the best. And I do feel that sharing all that and my pain and stuff with you guys on video is the reasoning why I was able to I don't want to say rebound, but deal with that death a whole lot easier than even my mother from 2009, because I just buried it then and just dug my head into work. Where with my dad, and even with my brother, I had to go straight into taking care of my dad. So I kind of had to suppress everything to make sure he's good to go. So my dad passing, I was able to share that all with you, and you guys gave all the love and support back. And now with Vern. Which is weird. Because I feel Vern's death is a lot harder on me than even my father. And I know that might sound bad, but it's not like me and my dad's relationship was the best. There's a reason I say dumbass a lot, because I was called dumbass a lot in my life. So I turned that into I tried to turn that, like, take control of that word. So when I say it to myself, it's more in jest, because I took that word and I made it my own, as opposed to like something derogatory. Instead of taking it as derogatory, I took it as more of a playful thing. And I took control of that word. And then spending all those years caring for him was stressful. But there's just something about innocence with me. The innocence of a kid, a child, and animals, that just really gets to me. So, but just you guys there for me makes all those videos worth it, because it's helped me immensely. So if you're making YouTube videos, keep that in mind, that the community that you can build on your channel can pay you in ways other than monetarily. I have a lot of time on this. All right, we'll give this like 5 more minutes. We'll get some questions and comments, and then we'll get to shipping. I am in the minority, as I do not pay for promoted listings. I sell enough to be happy without giving eBay more money. Boom. There you go. And that, it's good to live like that. If like, I am happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with growing it the way I'm growing it, right? I don't need to say, okay, I want it to be double. So, like, I could do that tomorrow if I wanted to. I have the merchandise for it. All I have to do is hire a help, buy another computer, and I could double my sales probably within the next 90 days, call it, right? Maybe not double, but take a huge step toward doubling. How about that? So having that comfort level is nice to have, because like I've said before, I say that so much because I repeat myself so much. Now I just lost my thought, what I was saying to say. Oh, like, I've never been able, with YouTube, I've never been able to try to make money in a fun way. Like, all my life, it's always been stressful to make money. Stressful trying to survive, right? And with YouTube, trying to make more money in a fun way is something I've never experienced before. And that's kind of why I'm kind of really taking to it more and more, it seems like over time, is because I've never had that opportunity to, of course, I love what I do, but there's always that stressful to build. Had employees before, came from nothing, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always had to build to survive type of thing, even though I enjoyed it. I've never been able to fully encompass something to make money with that it doesn't matter if it fails or succeeds. It's just have fun with it. And that's not the content of what I'm talking about. That's like the thumbnails and the titles, right? Trying to use those to grow it. The content's always going to be whatever is in my head at the time. But the fun part of trying to grow it with the title or with the thumbnail, that's where my play fun is. So, and then the thing with Marcus, doing something like that, a little collab, if you will, to try to have fun and grow together, if you will. So it's just a whole new experience for me. I'm liking it, And like I said, whether it did anything or not, it's still fun. If you haven't seen my community post, I made a community post and I put 4 or 5 of my favorite people I've been supporting for quite a while on YouTube that I think you should follow and you can get good knowledge from, because as I said in that post, it's not about just helping you with my videos, but sharing with you other people who have a value of information to share also that can help you. And then I'll try to do that maybe once a month. I'll add, once a month I'll do 5 different people now. So that'll give me time to, I know there's a few out there I got in my mind that I've could have added to the list but didn't. But that'll give me time to maybe hunt out a few more, right? And then especially if they've got lesser subscribers than me, that'll be kind of helping them out. So let's see. Marcus is awesome. I had 1 item sold yesterday on eBay. Why do you undo the snapback straps before shipping? When you ship in an 8x6x4 box, undoing the strap back helps it fit in better. If you do it like that, you can, but you could bend or snap the snapback on some of them. So when you undo it, it folds back better. So it goes into the box a lot nicer. So that's why I do that. I'm curious, you didn't wrap up the shoes or put them in a box. I would be worried about damage. I put shoes in polybag. Shoes are tough. They go on your feet. You wear them. They'll be fine. I've never had any problems with any shoes I've ever sold. So now that I said that, watch one happen. But I've never had any problems with shoes. Love the cha-ching during the video. That's awesome. Yeah, and it's been pretty dead this morning, hasn't it? Nothing's even cha-chinged. Or if it did, I didn't pay attention because I was talking. Let's see. By putting similar items on the seller's listing shows that eBay doesn't care about the seller. For eBay, it's all about helping the buyers. eBay wants prices. Ooh, where'd that come from? eBay wants prices to be low so the buyers will buy. It's a double-edged sword. Because if the lower, like some of the CDs that I sell for $5.99 plus shipping, the bigger sellers, yeah, they're selling more, but they're selling them $5.99 free shipping. So guess what? eBay makes more money off of that from, well, not overall, but from that one item, they make more from me. So is it a smart thing to do? Put cheaper prices underneath mine when somebody was going to buy mine in the first place, and then they decided, oh, I'm just going to buy this one because it's $2 cheaper. Well, guess what? There's less money for eBay, and there's a pretty good chance that I'm promoting it for more than what the other person's promoting it for. If they're promoting it at 2% and I'm promoting it at 15%, eBay's really going to lose out. So it depends on how you look at it. James, you are a real one. Yes, I am real. I'm not a dream. Did you see my little short I put up with Jan? She stopped by the bin. She was coming home, and like an hour and a half went by, and I'm like, oh crap, she should be here by now. And I called, no answer. Texted, are you okay? And it was like 5 o'clock. I'm like, she's probably stopped at the bins because we weren't going to spend any money this month except for yard sales. So she wasn't supposed to go. But she only bought a few things. I'm like, you could have bought more if you were going to stop. We're up we're up this month anyway, even though I need to get caught up from the last month being down. But yeah, so we made a little short. Found 2 CDs that somebody has up both together for $175. So those are going up today. So I put them up a lot cheaper, so hopefully they'll sell since I've got nothing into them. Jan does it again. Awesome finds Jan. So we get a haul video. She's been on this Christmas kick with her Christmas living room. So she's been on this ornament hoarding lot thing going on. And so she went over there for Christmas ornaments, but picked up maybe about 20 hats and a couple CDs, a couple VHS tapes, and nothing major. Cha-ching, sales are popping off for you. Solid find, way to go. Watch you daily, my personal eBay guru. eBay is trash. And I see some of you guys are subbing to the suggestions I put in the community comment. All right, let's get into this and see what pops up in my head to talk about. Do we have any internationals? I'm thinking probably don't have any internationals. They were from, there's some of these from last night, yesterday, a few. But we got an Australia and a Canada. And those were actually both from this morning, so that's good. But let's get into this. All right. If you watched the last yard sale haul video, you saw I picked up that for $1. I picked these up. I mean, sometimes they're worth good money, sometimes not. I got $9 out of it. And if you're new to my channel, the prices I give do not include the shipping I charge. So $9 going to Arizona. So I better have charged enough going to Arizona. Charged $11. Let's see. I'm going to need a bigger box for that puppy though. So what, the video made 24. We'll call that 5. So $30 back so far. Not counting if I've sold some of the media, because I don't remember what media I bought that day. I know I sold a couple of the Blu-rays already, so I've made more than that back, but how much more, I'm not sure. All right. Pull that out. This is the last of my free peanuts. I usually don't buy peanuts or bubble wrap. I just get whatever I can get for free. So I think that's the last of my peanuts here. So we'll use them for this. Peanuts. Get your peanuts here. Freshly packed peanuts. Peanuts here. Oh, I forgot the cord. Get your peanuts here. snug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Hey, Sylvester. I actually found myself really enjoying drafting and listing yesterday, taking pictures and the whole process. Like, sometimes it just feels like it's repetitive and stuff, but yesterday I found myself just really getting back into it, like, and enjoying the whole process. So it was refreshing to feel that again. And maybe that's because I had nothing on my mind. I kind of just, slowly getting past everything. And this week, I wanted to make it just a float week. And just, if I want to cry, I cry, get it out. If I don't want to do anything, don't do anything. If I want to take Courtney out front and sit with her in the grass 10 times in the day, go ahead. Only $10 to ship this, so good. So maybe the fact that I'm just feeling relaxed, I started really getting back into it. And the one thing I like about selling used items is because the creativity of thought of where these items have been, the history, the energy that's been attached to these items, if you will. Like, who had this hat before? It's a girl's Cardinals hat, sold for $10.50. Head to Morgantown, West Virginia. So, what history does this hat have attached to it? What history is it going to have going to West Virginia? I think the cool thing for me, and of course, it's not like finding a early Harley Davidson motorcycle and thinking where it's rode, and it's kind of that similar, but not as big, right? Like, this hat came from the Benz Porsche hat. Who owned it before and why? Who owns it now and why? If you see this hat in the future somewhere, which I'm sure you will when I'm dead and gone, or when I trade cars and I sell it, would the next person who owns this hat know that I wore it because I wore it with pride, because I came from nothing and used to walk through rich areas when I was a kid, eating bologna sandwiches, hoping one day I could drive a Porsche or a Mercedes or something. And I made it there. Will the next person who wears this hat know the history and the energy attached that I attached to this hat? But just thinking about things like that always gets me kind of, it lets my mind go and free and enjoy. Alrighty, we got Texas hat. She's called Texas hat. Sold for $7, headed to New York. This one. Don't crush it. You don't want to crush it, no. But I got a lot of to do on this box. CVS box. Good enough. Good enough to, ooh. I can't get enough, I can't get enough. When it's good enough to. All right. Next up, we've got, are you ready for a Medialite? We got Gin Blossom CD. Ooh, that needs cleaned. So I Married an Axe Murderer soundtrack. That one can use it too. Threesome soundtrack. And I'm probably all sold out of Mr. Big cassettes for some reason. Ever since Record Store Day and they re-released the vinyl, the cassette sold. Even just the cassette. So I know I've got more in storage too, so I don't think I can get it in any cassettes though. The cassettes are kind of buried right now. But all four of these items sold for $16, headed to San Marcos, Texas. Since I was in my kind of this week, my float mood, I'm trying to, as I'm getting my head right, back on track, I'm also trying to make that curve into eating a lot better, more consistently. But yesterday I'm like, man, screw it. Haven't had a Ultimate Bacon Cheeseburger, no mustard, from Jack in the Box in a long time. It was good as I remembered it to be. I used to be like 2 hamburger a day person, right? When I didn't have to worry about weight. I mean, literally, I would eat 7+ hamburgers a week. Not just hamburgers, bacon cheeseburgers. Like, I'll be surprised if I don't have clogged arteries, But now I maybe have a hamburger once a month. So I used it yesterday. Get out of my way, please. Thank you. All right, next up we've got Destiny's Child CD. Sold for $3, headed to Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And when it comes to like YouTube and like my mind tries to grow, like not grow, but like I try to start thinking outside the box. Like, what can I do to make this channel go up one notch, right? Joe Cocker CD sold for $4.20, headed to Seattle, Washington. And I called it My Boring Reseller Life. So one of the reasons is so I can upload any kind of video and it kind of be acceptable for the channel, right? So many people have 3 or 4 different channels for different styles of videos, mainly because some are not as popular as others. So they feel it interferes with the algorithm and takes some of their good videos, their videos that would normally be good, and they don't get as pushed as much. Man. But I didn't want to do that. Like I said, my main reason's not to make the money. That's like the bonus fun thing. So to have lesser reacted videos is no big deal. But I'm like, how do I get that bigger reacting video? What do I need to do to make that bigger reacting video? So I start trying to think outside the box. Of course, try to include reselling into it somehow, some way, of course. But like with the little goofy shorts. But I don't know. So I'm still trying to figure that out on trying to cross that barrier of just resellers. And kind of like yard sale videos do, like I just talked about. Marty Hagen vinyl. So for $8.18, headed to Sterling, Virginia. So if all of a sudden something out of the blue comes out one day on a video and you're like, what the hell is this? It's probably just a goofy idea I had. So to try to but then I noticed there's people out there who have 60,000 subscribers, but yet I get more views per video, right? And then there's people who have a lot less subscribers than I do, who get more views per video. So it's about getting those quality people, like you guys who are watching this now, 51 minutes into this video. The quality people who want to watch what you're putting out. Or at least listen to. But also, I kind of want to find something that kind of redefines a reseller video. I'm trying to find that little something that's going to just, like the first person who did a yard sale video, right? I want to be the first person who did that blank, blank, blank video. It's hard to be original in a world like, I guess that's the kind of cool thing about the YouTube. It's not really that old if you think about it. So you can probably still find that little original nugget. Just got to figure it out. Especially, and then if you break down reseller videos, that don't go back to the beginning of YouTube probably. And if it does, it was probably very, 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 very thin and limited. Roseanne Cash, 45. Sold for $4. Headed to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So just trying to find that little niche that's different. That's oddballily James. So what I'm in the process of doing now is kind of going backwards in time in my head, in my Facebook posts and pictures. I'm just kind of trying to rewind the last, not just the 21 years I've been reselling, but even back to when I was 10 years old digging in dumpsters. And just trying to find a little spark that's going to spark a new idea for a video series or something, That's never been done before. So, will I find it? I don't know. But it's fun exploring. That's kind of how, that and the thumbnails and the titles is kind of how I'm getting my creativity out right now, So, Marie Osmond, 8-track, sold for $4, headed to Seymour, Tennessee. Maybe today, since you're this far in this video, you are probably one of the few. And I kind of talked about doing like a kind of reaction video before. But what if I did reaction videos to like reseller videos that are 10 years old, 9 years old. Go back and see what the earliest reselling videos are on YouTube and kind of do a reaction to them. That's a thought. Yum Yum cat. Sold for $9.50. Headed to Devine, Texas. Texas. If you are car people and you like car shows, and if you were a fan of Gas Monkey, Garage, Mike the painter who used to work there, he's got a new show on Netflix called Tex-Mex, where they buy cars from Mexico cheaper than you can get them in the US and fix them up and sell them here. I like car shows, but I like business shows over car shows. So the fact that that's kind of a new business idea to my head, go to Mexico and buy the stuff and sell it here, that's what intrigued me. The intriguing part of the show for me was. Because then it throws ideas. Okay, I'm a reseller, so they're buying and reselling, right? Just adding their, adding restoration to it also. But the essence is buying and reselling. So what can I pick up off of that show that I might be able to incorporate into my life? So that's one of the reasons I love watching those shows, is not just the whole, I love cars, but the whole business behind it all. Alrighty, we've got some Latin CD here, part of the Hastings buyout. A kid's Latin CD of some sort. I'm not even going to try butchering the title, but sold for $4, headed to Layton, Utah. Let me see. I think that's it. See, is that everything that needs to be shipped right now? Yes. Well, we're only at 10:19. Where am I at money-wise? Because I haven't heard no cha-chings, have I? No, I guess there has been. $184 at 10:19. So I just haven't been paying attention. Doink, doink. My mind's in think mode, Think mode. Tablet CD called Pinned. Headed up to Canada. Sold for $4. Refresh that. Pinned. $4. We are at 58 minutes. Let's see here. Custom form. 4.3. 4.20. 4.3. Ear itch. My sinuses have been a little bit bad the last couple of days, so feeling a little better right now, but still got the ear itches from it. Ear itches. Ear itches, bitches. I got the ear itches, bitches. That's the one good thing about, I guess, having sinus problems, is when you get a Q-tip in that ear that's itching, you can get in there and just, it feels so good. It's like, you start doing like a dog and like, it feels good. Salem Livestock Market trucker hat headed to Australia. Sold for $16.37, and that might be Australian dollars, so it might be more like 11 or 12 US dollars. Salem. What are you doing? Come on. What am I doing, I should say. I'm controlling it. 5.8. Just put like $11. 5.8. It's kind of why I like watching the shows like Gold Rush and stuff too. Of course, I like seeing people succeed and find all that gold and stuff, but the whole business behind it, the expenses behind it, the amount that you have to spend on equipment, you know, all that kind of cool stuff. Boom, boom. Move to shipped. All right, let me go through what's left here since we're at the hour mark, so I don't keep you guys far too much longer. We've got a FIFA shirt I put up yesterday. That sold for $10.50. We've got a Matthew Ward cassette, sold for $7. I have Batman Beyond, the complete series. That was from the Garage Hoard sale I went to. Just put that up yesterday. Sold for $20. Spent $60 at that garage. If you watched was it the first yard sale video? No, the second. Yeah, I guess it was. I don't know. The yard sale video where I bought all the shot glasses. Sold my second shot glass. I still have got hundreds I haven't listed yet. So maybe I'll get a few up today. Sold for $9. So we got the Moose. Busting Out Vale, Colorado. We got a Rock and Roll 1965 CD. Sold for $5.60. And a Macarena Tropical Disco cassette. I bet you that's annoying as hell. Sold for $3.40. And sold but not pulled yet. Local 512 Union St. Louis hat, $8. University of Miami visor, $10. Chris Ree cassette, $3. And some Clark's slip-on shoes for $10. So there we are. 184 at 1024. So hopefully will be a bounce back day today, since yesterday was pure crap. Pure crapola. Didn't even make my low end, not by a long shot. About $150 short of where I like to be. So, all right. Thanks everybody for all the support and love on here on YouTube and such. Hey James, love the channel. You're teaching me a lot of great pointers. I'm not sure if you or anyone has noticed this. The ads that come up in the middle of your listing have a feedback on our suggested link. I clicked it and I was able to tell them I didn't like the ads. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's a feedback over, I guess, to the right on that if we like the ads or not. Now I don't see them when I'm viewing others' listings. Just putting it out there. Hope it works for everyone. So it's so you don't see them, but unfortunately, it probably doesn't take them off your page, so other people will see them. It doesn't matter if I see them or not, because I'm not taking business from myself. But if I see them on other people's pages, it's probably not going to. Maybe it will take them off, but see, it'll take them off for me, but it won't take them off for the people coming to my page. That's where the problem lies. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes and see we can make up a big enough stink about it, but I doubt it's going to do much, but we'll see. All right, everybody, keep listing, keep selling, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.